I didn't even blink when she slid the envelope across the table, silver bracelet still catching the light as it swung from her wrist. I met her eyes, smiled softly, and signed the papers without a word. Then I handed over the small gift box I'd set aside for this moment. She laughed too loud, too fast. Lexi was already leaning forward, phone tilted just right, waiting to catch some dramatic outburst. "Betty cries," Lexi muttered with a grin, whispering into her wine glass. Men always do. They thought they were orchestrating my humiliation, setting up my final defeat. But they didn't realize the ending had already been written, by me, long before tonight. When we married, I thought I'd found someone who reflected my values. We bought a house that needed work, floors that creaked, a yard big enough for kids and hopes. I built her a home office with my own hands. She filled it with candles and vision boards. And Lexi, always Lexi, was there, inserting herself into our lives, joking that she was part of the marriage. At first, I laughed. Last Christmas, the cracks started to show. I had a necklace made, delicate gold, custom designed. Lexi unwrapped it by mistake on a tree and gasped like it was meant for her. When my wife saw it, she hesitated, forced a smile, and said she loved it, but she never once put it on. I wasn't looking for anything when I found the messages months later. I was fixing her laptop, and the screen lit up before I could close it. Lexi's message glowed on the screen. "So where are we doing this?" And my wife had replied, "Asterisk, he's too nice to fight. He'll sign and sulk. Honestly, he's just boring now." Asterisk, Lexi's reply. Asterisk, Betty cries. "They always do." Asterisk. My stomach twisted, but my hands stayed steady. They thought my quiet meant I was weak. They mistook patience for softness. So I kept playing my part, the easy-going, gentle husband, while I set the trap. The next day, I hired an attorney, one who specialized in shielding assets. We rewrote the prenup, hidden in a pile of paperwork under the pretense of protecting ourselves after watching friends go through messy divorces. She signed without reading. I recorded conversations, saved receipts, tracked the weekend away, the shopping sprees charged to our shared account. I watched as she and Lexi dug their hole deeper, word by word, dollar by dollar. When December arrived, I had everything ready. The paperwork was filed. The funds legally shifted. The condo bought under a company she'd unknowingly approved. She thought I was planning a romantic getaway. In a way, I was just not the one she expected. Christmas dinner was at our house. Her idea. Lexi arrived dressed like she was stepping onto a red carpet. They shared glances, private smiles, and side jokes. I carved the turkey, poured the wine, played the perfect host one last time. Then she slid the papers across the table. "Surprise," she said, triumphant. Lexi smirked, eyes sparkling. "Merry Christmas, sucker." I read the document calmly. Then I met her gaze, said, "All right," and signed. Silence followed. Lexi's grin faltered. "Wait, seriously?" I stood, grabbed the gift I prepared, and placed it on the table. "For both of you." They tore into it, eager. Lexi read first. Her face drained of color. My wife's hands shook as she scanned the contents. "You changed the prenup?" she breathed. I nodded. 8 months ago. You signed it in July. Remember? Before your retreat? You didn't bother reading it. Lexi flipped to the last page, voice thin. "She gets nothing?" "No," I said quietly. She gave herself nothing. I just made it official. My wife tried to speak, voice trembling. "You can't." I pressed play on my phone. Lexi's voice echoed in the room, calling me weak, boring, easy to manipulate. Then my wife's voice, agreeing, laughing. I didn't gloat. I didn't raise my voice. I let their own words fill the air, heavy and undeniable. "I already filed." I said, standing. "You'll get the official papers tomorrow. But tonight? Tonight, you gave me your gift. I'm just returning it." They scrambled to talk, overlapping, desperate. Lexi asked about the house. My wife pleaded for a conversation. "You had a year to talk," I said, pulling on my coat. "You chose a performance instead. At the door, I turned once. And you were wrong, by the way." She blinked. "About what?" I don't cry. I calculate. The snow outside felt cold but clean. I walked out into the night, free. Lexi vanished from my life. My wife sent a single message. Can we talk? I left it unanswered. Some gifts don't need ribbons. Some endings don't need an audience. Just truth and timing.